All right, we're live.
You guys should have seen him 30 seconds before.
No, you shouldn't.
He was like being funny.
All right, what are we talking about today, babe?
All of our horrible traits. No. Yeah.
This was spurred on, I think, by Karu wanting us to talk about, say, what is it, like challenges and, you know, no one's perfect. So obviously there are compromises or having parts of your character that you're not proud of, that you have to work on. And when you're with someone, you can't hide them.
Yeah. He said it was boring to talk about what we admired in each other. We should talk about our negative traits.
Well, I can actually understand. It seems condescending to people, like, oh my God, a video, why you're happy with each other, yawn, you know? But then I find it yawn when I hear people, why I broke up, why my partner's terrible, why it was a train wreck. I find that also boring. We have got one viewer at the moment, babe.
Yeah.
We're rich. All right. So, negative traits. All right, don't look at it.
I won't look at it.
She works best when she doesn't...
With my batteries, when my batteries are all full and charged.
Yeah, when she's got a full set of batteries in her back.
You talk like I'm a toy.
Yep.
She works best. Anyway, sorry.
I need at least the bullet point structure of, okay, I'm going to talk about that, blab, and then I can move on to the next thing. But you like kind of...
I feel like whenever you give me information, my brain wants to structure it. That's what my brain does. It always tries to control and structure. So that's why it's actually easier for me if I don't really know what we're going to talk about. I just give me a topic, and then you can kind of lead the conversation. I think that works well for my brain.
You're the kind of person, if you're learning to dance, it's like, you know, need to know every single step. Whereas to me, it's just turn the music on, it give me a gist of how I'm supposed to move, and then I'll just move.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. Negative traits.
Well, I'm actually curious, because I know what my negative traits are. What do you think is a negative trait that you have?
Well, I think I've talked about how I knew that I would have to adjust to living with someone. So you're fine living on your own. You don't think you got negative traits, but you can get annoyed at yourself and blah, blah, and give up on yourself and tell yourself you're going to stick to a diet or go on a run, but you don't. It's fine. But those traits can become negative traits to someone else who has to live with you. You know, so I think with my negative traits is like staying up later than I should. I always kick myself later on, but there's no one else to be affected by it.
Isn't that a habit though?
Yeah, but it's a negative trait. You don't care about it, but I'm thinking I already had negative traits I saw in myself, right? Or are we going to sort of talk mainly about negative traits that are objectively maybe annoying for another person? Yeah? Not necessarily
Yeah, we could talk about it in different ways, I guess.
Because I see that as a negative trait, not going to bed and staying up all night and being tired and being grumpy and stuff like that the next day.
Yeah, but that's only a negative trait if it's... That's only a negative trait if you don't enjoy it or if it annoys other people. But if you're fine with it and it doesn't annoy other people, it's fine.
Doesn't that annoy you the next day when I'm a zombie or I'm grumpy?
No, of course not. No.
Annoys me.
Yeah, but see, you staying up late, that to me, a trait to me is like a personality trait. Or like...
Like if you just get angry and blow up and... Yeah,
like if you tend to get angry fast or something like that. But just like staying up late, to me, that's more like a habit because you could change that easily. Or, well, not easily maybe, but that's a bit different maybe.
Well, I guess I can't really pinpoint anything. I think what I've had to learn is to stop being very agreeable and nice. I don't think I've got many, I'm not perfect, but I don't think I've got any really big faults.
No.
That I go around and like hit people around the head with, like with my character traits. Mine are very subtle, or like you can't even see them. They don't really affect others around me. Sometimes I feel them, but I don't feel like they're as big as, say, some of yours. So an example is recently, we can talk about what happened. We went for a walk. It's pouring rain. I stopped now. But we had like a very heavy rain just this morning. It's like monsoon tropical rain.
Yeah. And I wanted to go for a walk because it was so nice, because I love tropical weather. And then we went for a walk, and then it started pouring, and we were soaked when we got back.
It was already raining, and you wanted to go for a walk, which was surprising.
Yeah, but it was only like drizzling when we went out first. And then like 10 minutes in, it started pouring.
Hi, Peg. Peg's here. Greetings from the heartland in Ohio. Yeah, so you went, we had a great time. You were in an awesome mood. You were like in a perfect mood.
I was very motivated.
You were having fun. You were joking around. You're being silly. Like, it's kind of like when you're in that mode, like you're impossible not to love. You know, you're really fun to be around, and it lifts the mood of people around you. Like me, like I just enjoyed, like I was flat because you woke me up, and I'm like, and so your mood lifted me up as we went for a walk. But then what happened afterwards?
Well, we were getting ready for the stream, and like we sit on these little bar stools.
Yeah, like barber stools. So
we can sit closer together, and then I was just like, well, why don't we sit on our normal chairs? Because we've got these like big couch-like chairs that are very comfortable. And if we have like microphones that we can just hold, then we can sit on those chairs and like sit back a little bit, and it will be more comfortable. But then you said, well, we have to sit close. And
yeah, because right now we're in focus and the background is nicely blurred and you can read the title. Whereas if I'll have to make the camera focus on everything so we can sit back and lean in chairs. The background won't look nicer. The designer in me won't like the look of it. It'll be very complicated. It'll look crappy. And you're like, oh, why can't we just make it easy?
Yeah, it threw me off a little. But yeah, I don't even know why. That was weird.
Yeah, you focus on these little things.
Yeah.
That I would say sometimes it's a shame that you do. Like you focus on the smallest things. Everything's great. And it's usually when you're feeling really great. You're so happy, and just it's almost like a picture frame in the house is just a little bit off, and it ruins everything for you. Like one thing is off, and you can't appreciate like who cares?
Yeah, and then it annoys my brain and it throws me off a little. But I caught myself, and then
you're fine. But for 5 minutes, it was.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's really weird how my brain does that.
But without seeming glib, I really can't think of any big faults that I have. I can be forgetful, but again, they're not big faults. Objectively, if I stand back, I don't think I've got very big character flaws that I need to work on. I have a lot of stuff that I like working on and I need to work on, but I don't think they're really things that really shock people, or I don't put my foot in it in a big way where I have to. I'm doing that again. I can't help it. It's part of my character trait. I don't really have anything like that I can think of.
No, I don't think you have any real character flaws.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I think the only thing that I didn't like very much in maybe the first year, but I think that was not really a character flaw, but that was more because of me, probably. But when I was having trouble with like seeing your family as much as you wanted to, I remember I didn't like it that whenever like I felt like if we like that you should also say no to them and put us first. And sometimes I think I felt like you didn't put us first. Like if they wanted to do something and then you always wanted to go and do something. And then I was like, no, but you should put us first because we're married. But in hindsight, I think I just didn't like that because we didn't see them often. I just didn't like it because I was having a lot of problems with that back then. And I think that's why I kind of saw it like that.
I think it was one of those things again. You've got your perfect vision of the world. You came here to be with me. And this was like a picture frame that was off. It's like, why do we have to deal with that?
Yeah, it really annoyed me back then. But I feel like that really stood out to me back then because I was having a lot of problems with it in my head, I feel like. But I still kind of agree with that. Like, I feel like if we have a really nice day planned or a dinner planned and then we get an invite, then I still feel like, no, like we planned this already. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Like, yeah, I don't like people who do that. I think it just came from, again, me automatically being on my own before you, is I've got a lot of free time. Whatever I'm doing, if my family or friends invite me and say, hey, Bob, what are you doing? It's like I can pause everything, go see them, catch up for a bit, then go back to, because my life is constantly, I do whatever I want. I've got my projects and I can just hit pause and go do something. But now I think it's different. Well, I know it's different, that we've got the stuff we do, and then we're very intentional with the time we spend with each other. Like, I'm very aware, like I enjoy our walks, we watch a movie together, we have conversations. So it's another really huge element in our lives. And then the third element, if it comes in, like someone else, oh, what are you doing? It's like, it's not as easy and I don't want to, so.
Yeah, but I feel like I've really had to grow into that because now I feel like I'm more flexible with that. Like, also, I always like a lot of notice in advance, but even now, if it's a little bit spontaneous and we get an invitation, I feel like I'll be able to deal with that better now than back then. But I've just really I needed time to kind of adjust to that. But in the beginning, that was something I was really struggling with, yeah.
Well, it's understandable to a degree because you packed up everything, you moved to from Holland to here to be with me. And so there's a lot of like you wanting to feel safe and comfortable. And so like you push anything that's like, no, it's just me and Bobby. And so it's understandable. Now you've relaxed. Now this is your world. And in the last 6 months to a year, you've really, like, especially the last couple of months, you've really had a lot of fun. Doesn't matter what gathering we go to, you're joking around and people are joking with you. It just seems very fluid and very easy compared to when you first came here.
Yeah, and that feels really good for me as well. Like, I feel more relaxed, I feel more comfortable with them. And I think I've kind of changed my mindset about how to view it, So yeah, it has been good the last few months.
I feel like online, especially places like Reddit, they talk about deal breakers. Like, the person's got to be perfect. And if there's any blip or any character trait or any compromise or anything about their character that you need to work on or isn't perfect, then it's a deal breaker.
Yeah, and that's dangerous. Because if you had that mindset with me and you would have been like, well, why is she bitching about going to see my family or whatever? This is a deal breaker for me. But I've had to like grow into it. I've had to adapt to it because I'm kind of different, but now it's fine, I feel like. So yeah, sometimes people need a bit of time to adjust something about themselves.
And it's kind of silly and a little bit arrogant. Right, and I'm just saying this objectively. I'm imagining myself going to Holland, right? Say if it was the other way around, and I wanted to be with you, and I never considered life in Holland, what it was like, your family, the structure around living with you there, and I'm like, no, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it the way you guys do it in Holland. I don't want to do it. It's like, dude,
yeah,
When you look at it, it's like, of course, there's got to be adjustment. You can't just do everything your way or how you plan it in your mind before you get there. You have to realistically, like, give and take in the environment you're in.
Yeah, and I think that just shows that, especially people that are used to living on their own and that are used to, being independent, making their own decisions. You can be very stubborn, and sometimes you need some time to
yeah, but I would this is the challenge because I'm a very calm person. Like I said, I don't have any really big character flaws that kind of really punch people in the stomach. Like, I'm not really like
I wouldn't say you have any legit character flaws, babe. Like, there's nothing about you that I can think of that's like, oh, you need to work on this, babe. You need to change this. Like for me, I can point out a few, but for you, I can't point out any. So.
And this isn't me kind of saying I'm perfect, because I'm not. But I kind of think that this was a problem I had with some women I tried to date, where I was almost boring to them, because I was like, I'm like this. I don't really kind of go high and low. I'm not a roller coaster. And the moment I feel myself going off, I can psychologically pull myself the other way. I'm really good at walking away from bad moods and adjusting myself. So I'm very much in control psychologically of myself, and I don't really kind of pop off and have really sad depressions. I'm kind of like just like this, you know.
I feel like you would be a good person to copy for women, because any woman that just wants a good man who is calm and stable, like that's you. Like you're really nice to be married to.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah. And I don't have to say that because I've already got you. So everything I'm saying is true.
Well, here's a comment. We asked, what's an unfair compromise you've been asked to make in a relationship? And David P, he said, to accept her living like a slob. She put zero effort into basic housekeeping. It became unsafe and unsanitary. That sounds like it was an extreme, though.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people have these really extreme rules before they get with... I hear a lot of the guys and girls online, like the feminists or the red pill kind of guys, and they got these kind of really extreme rules, like she's got to be a great cook, zero body count, be a 10 out, like all these like perfect traits. And it almost doesn't matter what personality they have. And things like this, I would say with you, before I met you, like you're my kind of person. In the past, when I've met people who I found attractive, they were nice, but I didn't quite fit with them, as like something's off. Hopefully it gets better, but I don't know what it is. Things like that, being a slob, leaving things unwashed, whatever. It's like, this is annoying. She's a slob, and it would really bug me. But with you, our personalities are so compatible. If you're a bit messy, it doesn't matter to me. Like the things that would matter to me with girls that are just something wasn't right would stand out and be big things and irritate me, like not washing dishes, not keeping a clean house. I realize David's talking about a more unsafe, unsanitary sort of thing. But it is kind of funny where the things that people would put as red flags, like, oh, she can't clean, she can't this, she can't that, it kind of is sometimes funny when you're with someone that you feel good with. And like, if you're messy, I laugh, I go, babe. And we both laugh at, oh, sorry, babe, I'll pick it up and whatever.
Are you referring to the oven?
No, I was just picturing clothes in my head and stuff like that. But yeah, the oven, that's an example.
I hate the oven.
You had
I hate cleaning the oven.
Yeah, you hate a lot of stuff, babe.
Yeah, I do. But I'm not that bad.
But you know what I appreciate? That attitude, you hate this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. That's never towards me.
No.
But it's actually never malicious. It's just kind of like stubbornly lazy. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. So it's not like a serious, angry...
And I do it, but just maybe not as often as I should. Just often.
David said, I visited her and lived with her for 2 months. In that time, she washed dishes once.
Oh.
And cleaned her house once. It sounds like I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. Yeah, that's an extreme.
Yeah.
Sometimes those people, the older you get, it's interesting. The older you get, the nicest people get taken first, and they get married, they get committed, and blah, blah, blah. The majority of people that you're left with dating, and I was part of the pool, there's something odd or very specific about them, and it's harder and harder to find a person to be with, because the generally nicest, well-behaved, clean, polite, respectful people, they couple off earlier. You know?
Yeah.
And so people like that, sometimes you get with someone, you think, oh, wow, she's pretty, she smiles, she's nice, I wonder why she's single. And then you spend a bit of time, and then like one of my exes, she had a terrible temper. You couldn't talk to her. She held a lot back. She was the kind of person that needed, like, you felt like you need therapy every week. Your mood swings, you're depressed, you're angry, you lash out of nowhere. She was just like up and down. I walked on eggshells around her all the time. You discover, yeah, I know why you might be pretty, but I know why you're single. And you probably will be single soon again, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think if you're compatible with someone and you have a good relationship, then you can kind of work through anything. Because everyone has, like, bad traits, I think. Well, except for you, apparently, but...
Yeah, but again, I'm not perfect for everyone as well. I'm either boring for some people. Some people tell me I talk too much. The way I talk about things is just annoying. They talk about things like other people do. They just talk about the weather and this and that's this and that's that. But I talk about the ideas around them and what's interesting and how do you think about this.
Yeah, that's interesting because those are subjective. You know, that's true. Like the way that you are a homebody and stable, some women might not like that and they might see that as a negative trait. So I guess it is subjective. Yeah. Like,
for instance, I always knew that I wanted someone who was largely a homebody like me. And almost everyone I meet, most people are the cliche. They're outgoing, they're social, they love shopping, parties and blah, kids. And it's like, it's going to be really hard for me to meet someone who just likes being home with me. And you're an extreme version of that.
Yeah.
Like you really like being home, like more than I ever hoped for. But sometimes, again, when, let's just be social, it's like, nah, I don't want to be social. I want to stay home. It's like, whoa, you're really a homebody.
I think actually his question is actually interesting for us to answer as well. About, the question we asked, I mean, like, were you ever asked to compromise on something? Yeah, because I can think of one, like with my latest relationship.
Before me?
Yeah. Where he wanted me to be more outgoing and to organize more things. And my response to him was basically like, that's not me. You know, I am a homebody. And I don't know. It was like he wanted me to be someone else.
Yeah, to take charge and organize something socially where that's completely not you.
Yeah.
I think it's different if you see that your partner will do those things for themselves, but they won't do it for you or the relationship. That's where I think you've got a right to kind of say, well, this isn't fair. You can't just be into doing it for you, but you won't do it for me or us. But if it's not in you and they expect you to be somebody else, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that as well in different ways. You know, I should be further along in my career. I should be at a certain place in life that they want me to be. I should dress a certain way. I had one ex, they really wanted me she almost dressed me up the way she wanted. She'd like, I bought you this, like a gift. Like, I bought this for you, as though it was, but she bought me clothes that I didn't like, and she knew I didn't like them. And we'd go out and I'd be trying on a pair of shorts and she'd be like, here, try these on. I'm in the dressing room and she'd hand me a pair. And I'm like, why do you keep handing me? I don't like these, but just can you try them? And I try them and she liked that real preppy look. They're real tight shorts. And it's like, what am I, 21 years old? Or am I 18? And she just wouldn't stop. And it was like, it started to get into an argument. It's like, I'm not that guy. Yeah, but you look good in these. Like, I don't like wearing it.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's like, I'm a doll that you dress up or something. I guess women get that when guys tell them, change your hair color, dress like this, lose weight, whatever it might be.
I don't get where people get the motivation to care about that stuff.
Well, most people care about what others think, especially your partner. Like, you care about what I think. I care about what you think.
I care about what you think. But what I mean is, like, I wouldn't want to dress you or whatever. Like, if you ask me, hey, does this look good? I'll give you my opinion. But I don't get people that want to like go out of their way to like dress up their partner and buy them clothes, and I don't get that.
Yeah, look, I understand it. You like your partner and you think something would look good, but when you really want to transform them into something else, you should know, you should like them for what you meet them as, and you can dress them up or buy stuff, but you have to know what they like and you dress them in that ballpark. But not, I don't care what you like, you are going to become this. That's the thing that's wrong.
No, but yeah, I don't get how people can be so invested and be so interested in it, I guess. I mean, if I'm in a store and I happen to see something that I think, oh, that would look good on Bobby, then I might get it. Or if I'm shopping, or if I want to get like a birthday present and I'm looking for something for you, like, you know, but I'm not going to go out of my way to get like a wardrobe for you. That's like kind of weird.
I know what you mean. It's because I think most people, they don't actually care about the person that much. They don't care about their personality. It's all about dinners, how they look, all the superficial stuff. And so that's why they want them to look a certain way. They want to dress them up a certain way. Because with you or me, I like you as a person. Like, I think you'd look good in this, but if you don't like it, it's like, well, she doesn't like it. Big deal. I still like the person. But if you don't care about the person, it's like, no, I want you to dress this way so I can like you.
Right. Yeah, that's weird.
But yeah, I think the basics, if a person's a slob, they don't even meet you part way in like saying, for instance, babe, I don't expect you to be a clean freak. Like say you're a clean freak, right? You can't expect your partner to be like that if she's the opposite, but you can meet each other part way. The compromise, like, babe, can you clean a bit more? You don't have to clean as much as I did, but can we meet somewhere in the middle?
Right.
I think that's the compromise that's fair. You shouldn't be anal that everything has to be hyper clean. If that's one of your traits that you need, sorry, then go find someone who's hyper clean like you are, if that has to be in your world.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that, and I've said this before, in another stream, I think compromise should be very, very minimal in a relationship or in marriage. I don't think it's good to have to compromise a lot. I think it should be minimal.
I think you shouldn't compromise your core values and who you are, but you should compromise the things that aren't those. I think you shouldn't be stubborn and want everything your way. You know how you can go be very particular. It's like, nah, I want everything to be perfect. Have the most important things perfect, good, like us and everything. And then other stuff, don't try and perfect every little thing. Like you can compromise on those. You can let certain things go. Like I don't have to like and do everything you say. Only the core things. Like my personality, how I treat you.
Yeah, but even not the core things, but I don't know, because with you, I feel like I don't compromise. I hardly compromise. Like the only thing sometimes is social things, but that's like much easier for me now. But that's the only thing I ever felt I had to compromise a little bit. But that's what I mean. Like if I felt like I had to compromise a lot, then that wouldn't be fun.
No. And you've gotten used to, my social circle is very small. And you're familiar with the couple of people that we catch up with regularly. Not regularly, but from time to time. And that's it. But I'm not like a social person that you've now really got to change your personality and become more social. Generally, like meet different people, be outgoing, always go out shopping. We're always going out. You know, you haven't had to change how you lived. You have to tweak it a bit, but you haven't had to kind of flip your life around and change how you live from day to day.
Yeah, because I feel like if you have to do that too much, then it's just not fun, because it isn't really fun to compromise. So,
well, the way you live on your own, your core values are expressed in the life when you live on your own. How social you are, how you want to spend your time. And so you should find a partner that kind of is in that ballpark. And I think a lot of people, they find partners that are complete opposite. They feel like, oh, I need my partner like this because I've never been like that, and opposites attract. I haven't met very many partners where opposites attract. And I think the partners where they don't like themselves, they might feel like they're deficient, they're not outgoing enough, they're lazy. They want a partner who's not lazy. They want the partner to carry the load. They want the partner to do everything. But I don't think opposites really attract, especially when it comes to core values. I feel like when I was younger, I did make a lot of compromises that I didn't want to make, just because I liked them. I just was attracted to them at the start, and I made a lot of compromises to be nice. And I thought, well, if I compromise, they'll start compromising for me, and they never did. And then I started to resent them for it, which isn't good.
Yeah, I think I'm wired kind of differently. Because I don't tend to do stuff I don't want to do very quickly. So I don't tend to compromise easily. But I also haven't had to really much in my past relationships.
I've said you're lucky that way. You're naturally wired to go, yeah, but I don't want to do that. And you'll say it, you're very direct. It's like, yeah, but I don't want to. Whereas with me, it's like, okay, yeah, all right, why not? I'm very easygoing. You're easygoing until you come to a point like, no, that's not me. I always go, yeah, why not? I'm very much like, I'll give it a try. Why not? I'm not really invested in saying no that much, so I'll just say yes. I only say no when it's a really hard no. But you comfortably say no all the time to things that you don't want to do, and that's not me.
Yeah. I think that's because I've always been good on my own, so I'm not afraid to say no.
I am too, but I think I'm just, a lot of me is just too accommodating, or it used to be a lot more accommodating. So, yeah, that's a benefit. That's why I also think that you don't have a lot of frustrating relationship stories like I did, because I was frustrated with how much I compromised, and then only afterwards I realized I did all the compromising, and they didn't meet me halfway. I was just always a nice guy, and then afterwards it's like, well, why did you always say yes? Yeah, I know, I was an idiot. But I think but you don't have a lot of those stories. You're like, oh no, that guy was good. You don't have any negativity towards your past relationships. I've got negativity to a couple of them in big ways, and the other ones it's like, yeah, that was irritating. But a lot of it was me compromising too much and not saying no when I should have.
Yeah, I feel like I compromise with you sometimes, like with social events, for example. But and
the housework and things like that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because in Holland, with all of my exes, we actually split the housework 50-50, because that's more normal in Holland. But here, I do all the housework. But that's but that's because you are a bit more traditional like that.
Yeah.
And like when you told me that, I was like, oh yeah, okay. Like I don't really mind it. But that's because of you. But yeah, I probably wouldn't have accepted that in Holland. Yeah. Well, because cleaning is not fun, but you know. Yeah, but so what I mean is like with you, I've had to compromise a little bit.
Yeah, but it's also, remember when we came here, it was funny. It was like, if I was going to help you with housework, then I'm going to make you help me with yard work as well. And you're like, no, I don't want to do yard work.
Yeah, but that's an issue that I never had in Holland, because I've never had a backyard or anything.
Now we do.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But that's just to say that I think I've definitely compromised most with you, but that's because it's worth it and you're my husband, you know. But I feel like if I'm just in a relationship, I don't easily compromise. It depends on what it is, of course, but I don't know. If you ask me if I just really don't want to do something, but maybe I think that everyone has more of an individualistic mindset, especially when someone wants me to go somewhere with them. And I'm like, I don't want to go, but you go and have fun. But then they want me to come with them. And I don't get that, because I always think like, if I want to go somewhere and you don't want to go, then I will always understand that, and I'm not gonna make you do something you don't want to do. And I think that everyone has that logic, but then people don't. Yeah, I don't know.
But then the curious thing happens, like it's happened to you a few times where you don't want to do something, and then you kind of just give in for me, like, oh, all right, I'll go because you're my husband and I know you want me to go with you or something.
Yeah.
You go and you have an awesome time.
Yeah, that's happened, yeah.
And then you're like, I don't know why I was resisting it. Like, it wasn't a big enough deal to really... I can understand resisting something. You've got hard boundaries. You don't want to do something that's really not you. And you find it kind of almost insulting to do it. Like, that's a hard no. But sometimes it's just like a stubborn, lazy no.
Yeah.
You know? And then if you just get over it, it's like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, is it worth the fight? Is it worth arguing over? Like, is it such a big deal? You know?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, I've had to really change that part of myself. Because I was, you know, a bit different before the person that I am now, you know.
Oh, look, and it's not to say you're the same person that I fell for before we decided to live together and get married. But it's understandable the first year you moved, you sold up everything, you moved here for me and for us, and we got married. And so it's going to take a year. This is the realistic part that a lot of people in perfect dating advice online don't consider. Realistically, she came over from overseas and now she wants to feel safe. You're a homebody. You want to block out the world and just feel safe with me. You don't want to go anywhere. You don't want to do anything. You just want to stay in this little bubble with me. And so until you feel safe, and now that you've been here, what, nearly 2.5 years?
Yeah, something like that.
In the first year, it was like a teething process for you to feel comfortable and safe in your world here, living with me and us being married. And now you feel more and more comfortable. So it's understandable now you're relaxed and you feel more safe and stuff. You're not holding on so tightly and go, no, I don't want to go anywhere. No, I don't want to do this. I just want this. My life is less just those 4 things and that's it. I'm not doing anything else because those 4 things keep me safe. And now you're like relaxed. It's like, yeah, now I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, and it's also interesting because I feel like the social thing that I've compromised on, like, it's better now. Like, I feel good. You know, it's because it is nice to socialize sometimes, but then sometimes you get in your head that you don't like it. And then that's kind of what you start believing.
And you reinforce it as well.
Yeah, but it is nice. Like, I am enjoying it now. So
it's nice to see as well because, like, you know, my family, they care about you. You're my wife. You're part of the family now. And it's almost like you resist it irrationally. And now when we go out, I see you having fun and joking with family members. It's like, it makes me feel good. We both have a good time. We're going regardless. We're going, like, if it's a Christmas party, we're going. So you might, like, what? Like, there's no point. Like, you just ruined the time that you're going to go anyway. You're going to be with me, you know?
Yeah, I think you just really can't underestimate that someone is like a person with his own qualities and characteristics and stuff. And sometimes when you are put in a different environment with another person, you know, it takes some time to get used to it and adjust and adapt. And I feel like the first 1.5-ish, I've kind of done that. And now I feel like we're in a really good place, and I'm in a really good place with the social stuff and everything.
Yeah. Look,
but it took a while, yeah.
But things get better. We discussed this morning while we were walking in the rain. We were soaked. And I was like, this is really rare. You wanting to go for a walk in the rain. Like, you rarely, if ever, suggest to go for a walk. I'm always the one because I'm more into exercise than you are, right? And this morning you were like, babe, you want to go for a walk? And I can hear it raining outside. It's like, it's raining.
Yeah, but it was drizzling though. And I thought maybe it's just going to keep drizzling. But it's because, like, I want to lose a few kilos. And I've been watching, like, a lot of walking videos, like how walking can help you lose weight and stuff. So I'm, like, obsessed with that right now. And that's why I was like, let's go for a walk. And we're trying to walk every day now.
Yeah, so
that's why.
I was, like, soaking wet. I was in the monsoon rain.
Yeah.
And, so things are... I was talking about then that life is better and better the longer we spend more time with each other. It's just more natural. We've got our habits in order. We know each other more and more as time goes on. There's just more and more comfort.
Yeah. Yeah, and my main goal, I've said this before. Oh, do you want to?
No, finish your thought. Then we can...
No, yeah, my main goal in life is to be more relaxed. I said that last week also. Want to be more relaxed and not let little things...
Not be stuck in your head so
Yeah,
much.
not be stuck in my head on little things and let it change my mood. And just be more relaxed, be more patient, and just have more fun also. Like this morning, that was kind of adventurous. That was just fun, you know?
Yeah, no, of course, like your partner who cares about you, I love seeing you that way. I don't like seeing you in your own head, obsessed with something, feeling bad about something that neither of us can fix, I can't fix, you can't fix, and we're both got to just be affected by it.
Yeah.
You're affected by it, but then I'm affected by it. Our marriage is affected by it. Any plans we might want to have is affected by it. Like, it's just pointless.
Yeah, but it's like a mindset shift. So I'm working on that. And I think it's important to like keep doing fun things and quality time and stuff. And for me to practice in the moment, you know, if I feel my mood shift or whatever, or if I'm feeling impatient, to like in the moment remind myself, what are you doing? Like, you have a great life, everything's fine. And then to kind of like reject it, you know, that's what I did this morning.
The best thing to do is get out of where you are. We were sitting here when you were feeling that way. You were in a bit of a funk when we were doing a mic test, setting up the stream. And then we got up and we had breakfast and then you switched.
Yeah.
See how much changing your state can help you? Because when this is something I notice with myself. If I'm in my head, I can't just make myself feel a different way. I can tell you, babe, you don't have to worry about it. You know, it's pointless. You can go, yeah, but you still feel the way you feel. The only thing that helps is get up and move your body somewhere else and do something else. That's the only way you're going to try and let go of that feeling, because you can't help feeling the way you feel.
Yeah.
Strigoi says, people compromise only when they are afraid of being alone. When two people are compatible, everything becomes a fuel to make the other safe and good. Yeah, I don't feel like, I don't know about you, but I don't feel like I compromise with you. I just try and work through things and get us back to stability. Like, oh, what's wrong? Like, she's not feeling well. What is it? Let's talk, blah, blah, blah. But it's not like, oh, now I've got to compromise on something.
Well, is there something, because I don't feel like I'm compromising anymore now, because the only thing was the social thing, but now I don't feel like I'm compromising with that anymore, because it's more easy for me and I understand that it's important. But before I did. But do you feel like there's anything you have to compromise on with me? Like, is there something that you would rather not do, but you have to do because you're married to me?
It's only when you have moments where you become obsessed with something, you blow it out of proportion. Like and especially this moment was an example. You're feeling really good. Part of my brain thinks sometimes, I hope something small doesn't come in because she's going to focus on it. And it kind of happened. Something small happened. It kind of interrupted your perfect world.
Yeah.
So your little obsession with perfection sometimes, but they're little ticks. So that's about the only thing. But other than that, there's not anything.
Yeah. But so you just described something about me that you wish I didn't have or anything.
Yeah, that's a character trait that I think you need to get better at.
Yeah, so that's a character trait I need to improve. But is there something you feel like you compromise on with me? Like something that you have to do or that you can't do for me?
Well, technically a compromise is you give something, they give something, and you both get something out of it, right? So we both give up something for something that we both want.
Yeah.
Right? So you could say marriage is that. You can't date people, but I didn't want to date anymore. You can't have your space all to yourself, but I don't necessarily. So there's a lot of just natural compromise of being married and living with someone. But to feel like what you're saying is, do I really feel annoyed that I have to kind of give up and tolerate something to be with you? Not really. I don't feel like I have to tolerate something to be with you. That's not any kind of compromise I feel like I have.
Yeah, see, and I think that's good.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I don't think it's good to feel like you're compromising.
You have to kind of be aware of how you think compromise is, because the definition of compromise is naturally what happens in any relationship. You both have to give something in order to get something for the both of you that you both want that you can't get otherwise. You both need to give something. That's a fair compromise, you know? It's like, for instance, I want you to feel more comfortable when we go to see my family. This was before, right? And you were like, you don't like getting surprised when you're comfortable at home. So you're like, give me notice. And so, okay,
Right.
that was a fair compromise.
Yeah.
I want you to feel more comfortable going out. You don't want to go out. You tell me, well, if you give me notice, that will help. I do that, then slowly it got better, and then you became more comfortable with it. So you learn to compromise and get used to, okay, how can we meet each other halfway? That's what compromise is to me. You meet each other halfway, not I'm stubbornly over here, you're over here, and you're got to come here. And the other person's going, no, you got to come here. And it's like, well, we're not going to work. We're just going to frustrate each other. But anything, the compromise that a lot of people think where I tolerate something to be with you, no.
Yeah.
No.
But maybe then compromise should also get easier over time. You know, because to me, in the beginning, that really felt like a big compromise that was difficult. But now it's not very difficult anymore. So maybe when you have to compromise on something, it would also be a good thing if it gets easier over time.
Well, especially if you see that your partner's trying to meet you, trying to be fair about it. Like they're not just saying, no, you have to do it exactly this way. But like, how can we make this easier? Because you're being unreasonable. Like what I'm asking of you isn't unreasonable. Like I want to go see my family and I want you there with me. You know, how can we kind of meet halfway with this? I know that before I met you, I can go whenever I want, and I went more frequently. I went sometimes 2-3 times a week, usually once or twice a week. But I had a lot of free time, and sometimes I wanted to take a break and just get in my car and go and see someone. But now I want to take a break. I hang out with you. We go for a walk. So I organize my life very differently now.
Yeah. And I'm fine with it now, and it's pretty easy for me now. But I do remember in the beginning, it felt very unfair to me. I remember. You remember when I was like really struggling? Like on the one hand, I understood that it's important for you to want to see your family. But then on the other hand, I was like, this feels unfair because I felt like you were trying to change me or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, at the beginning, I just wanted you to just be as relaxed, being social and going out to see my family or go out as I was.
Yeah, and I
had
just
to
couldn't.
no, Stephanie is social very differently to you. She likes going out a lot less than you, and she needs preparation differently to you. I'm spontaneous, nothing bothers me. I'm very but you're like, you put up the walls.
Yeah, and I think that's why it took me such a long time to slowly get used to it. Because but in the beginning, that was really hard for me.
But that's about the only thing. You'll hear us. We've been repeating this point again and again.
Yeah.
Between the two of us, like there's really nothing. There's kind of little blips and funny little moments and like, Stephanie obsesses over this and this. But it's not really like a red flag. It's kind of like, she's obsessed that something's crooked in our life. Big deal. Who cares? But you can't let it go.
Yeah, but that's also not about us. That's about something outside of us that I'm
But
worried.
when it affects us, this is about the only thing that you needed to feel safe in our life and then get comfortable and get used to. We compromised in the social aspect. That was about the only thing.
Yeah.
Ahmed Ghost says, no compromise on which side of the bed to sleep on.
No compromise.
What
do you mean by that?
It could mean a number of things. Maybe he says that...
Oh, like he wants to pick the side?
Yeah, he doesn't compromise which side of the bed he sleeps on.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's not really that important, like, to me, what side of the bed. I mean, I always like to sleep near the door, so that, you know, in the middle of the night you can go to the restroom, but...
Yeah.
I don't mind that much.
This is a thing as well. Some people are very firm and stubborn on their rules. It's like, no, I always sleep on this side. And it's like, do you really want to start an argument in a relationship over everything being perfectly your way? Do you need to fight the battle of I sleep on that side? Especially if you can sleep on the other side. But you're stubborn, you just don't want to.
But you know what I think? I think when your life is really good, like our lives, it stands out when things are a bit off. And I think that makes us see clearly how ridiculous it is when we get upset over little things, like the thing that just happened this morning. Mm-hmm. But imagine people where they're not happy in their relationship or whatever, and they're just always getting angry about little things. But because their life is always not good, they never have that clarity that we have to go, hang on, why am I being annoyed over this? Our life is so good, it doesn't matter. And then we can actually see it for what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They don't have a good, stable foundation by which to kind of go, oh, I'm being silly.
Yeah, because I have so many times where I can reflect on myself and then learn from it and be like, that doesn't make any sense what I just did or what I just said. And then you learn from it over time and then you get better at personality traits and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
that's true. Cynical optimist says, I think people expect that their companion will pick up chores that they would normally do if they weren't in a relationship. That's true. And when they don't, that's when compromise have to be visited. That's true. Yeah. Because I know I lived a certain way. I did things a certain way, but also I went in knowing like there's going to be adjustments. When you come to live here, I want us to kind of share the things I do around my home. We're going to split those things, and I want them to be more traditional because that always works. That's the way I've been raised. And also it will make each of us responsible in a way of caring for the other person. Like, I don't like mowing the lawn. But I feel proud, like, yeah, I do this because I'm your husband and I take care of you this way and I know you don't like doing it. And the same with doing housework and stuff. You don't like doing it, but it's like you're responsible for it. There's some pride in being responsible for something. And say with cooking, I always cooked for myself. I cooked the way I cooked. I cooked my meals exactly the way I want it. And now I'm not particular. Like, I let you cook for me. I tell you how I like food. But I don't have to go, no, babe, a bit more salt. No, a bit long. Like, you would go nuts. It's like, tell her, but just let her do it her way.
Right. You know what's interesting, though? Like, the way that we've divided up our chores, that doesn't feel like compromise to me. Like, I see compromise really as something negative. Like, that to me sounds more to me like that's what we've decided our roles are going to be. Like, I'll do the housework, you do the backyard. That doesn't feel like, because I'm happy with that, because I don't want to do the backyard. And I know I can't drive, so you drive me everywhere. You pick me up from work and everything. So it feels fair to me, that split. So that doesn't feel like compromise. Compromise to me is where I have to do something that I don't want to do, or I have to not do something that I want to do. Because it's kind of fair, and then I get something else maybe out of it or whatever. But it's not something good, or So the house chores, that to me is more just like that's what we've decided and to do. Like, that's what our roles are in the house. So I see that differently.
Yeah, but I think I see this as true. What Cynical Optimist said. When you're used to doing things a certain way, and they don't do it, you do need to compromise. So I have had to compromise, especially you've come to live in my house and now we're together. I'm still here. And so my brain's like, oh no, that's the way you do things. That's it. So I have to no, you've got to let go of that. You've got to make a choice. It's like, no, that's her thing now. Yeah.
You know what's interesting? I just realized that I went off topic this time and you're taking me back to the question. Normally it's the other way around.
Compromise on when to live stream.
No, because we always live stream at 11.
Maybe they're joking. How do you manage conflict? Do you ever have some?
I would say in the first year we did have some serious talks about the social thing, I would say. But the way that we handle it is we just talk it out. We just keep talking until we get to some kind of resolution.
Yeah, I think both of us, even when we were doing a long distance relationship, by the time we got to kind of really knowing that, yeah, we're going to live together, we're going to get married, you're going to come over here, it was all matter of fact. So it's like we don't have arguments, we have serious discussions because no, we've got to fix something here. In the way, I don't know if any of you, like when I have a serious podcast, like we're going to talk about something, one of the most serious topics in the world, and we're going to have a serious discussion. It's just matter of fact, and this is going to be worked out. That's all it is. So it's not a screaming match. Like I don't think we would never be like that.
No, we don't fight like that. That's not what we do. We just have conversations, and sometimes when there is a serious issue that like we'll talk about it and like have different opinions, but what we do is we just keep talking until we get to some kind of resolution. And sometimes it takes a few conversations, you know. But yeah, but do you remember one time, I can't remember what it was about, but we went to bed and it didn't sit right with me the way that we had left it.
And I was still watching TV. You went to bed, and then like about 5 minutes later, you came out and said like,
"Oh, I don't know if it was that thing, but I'm talking more so about we were in bed and it didn't sit right with me, and then I said to you babe, this feels weird. Like we need to talk about what's going on or whatever, and then." I said something like, because we're not like those people.
This isn't us.
You know? Yeah, like this isn't us. We don't do this bullshit. Like something feels a bit off. Let's just talk it out until everything's good again and then we'll go to sleep. You know, like all that bullshit stuff. I don't allow that into our marriage. Like we can talk about everything. We can talk everything out. There's no need for any of that crap. You know?
But I guess with me, part of it was like I had like a bit of deja vu, like, this is women again. But part of me is like, the way I talk to myself is the way I talk to us. It's different the way I talk to you. Of course, it's different the way I talk to myself. But if there's a problem, let's fix it. But with you, I remember in those moments, it's like you're in a mood, you're stuck in your head, or you're not feeling good, and you don't know how to communicate, or you need time, right? Or you need to sit with it. So I can't communicate with you because you need to sit with it. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to disengage because there's nothing I can do. I don't like sitting around you on eggshells and not being able to speak and feeling, so I kind of just ghost until you're ready to speak to me. And in that moment, it's like you felt like this is weird. So that kind of forced you to come out of that and let's start talking again. Because if I can't talk and I can't fix, I walk away from it and I ghost until I can deal with it, you know? But to you, it feels like I'm ghosting you, but it's like I can't do anything else.
Yeah, I think we had that more in the beginning, like maybe in the first year. But I think that's kind of two independent people, because like I don't know, sometimes when I'm dealing with stuff, like if I'm alone and single and I deal with stuff, then I deal with stuff in a certain way and I get it in my head, and then, you know, and now you're with someone and then the other person is affected by it, and then I have to deal with that also, and
it's a bit embarrassing, and a bit like you're dealing with it internally. It's like I'm dealing with enough internally. Now I've got to deal with this, and like
so it's just a bit of an unfortunate thing where it has nothing to do with you, but it's just like something I'm dealing with, and then.
But that's where I come from. My perspective is like I can't do anything. I can't talk. She's dealing with it. It's got nothing to do with me. So, you know.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like sometimes I need to kind of work it out, but then I always go back to you. But it
appears to you like I'm just ghosting you. But
not always, but yeah, that's rare though. And I don't feel like you're ghosting me, but
my character is I hate feeling afraid or confused or out of control. If I can't fix it, I'll do something about it right away in my own life with us. If I can't, if you're dealing with it, like I'm not going to sit here feeling like a scared 5-year-old, like I refuse. And I'll just like, I'm going to move away until the person or the situation is fixable. Otherwise, I don't sit there feeling out of control, vulnerable, scared, powerless. Like I just can't. you know?
Yeah. It's just interesting that
It's got nothing to do with you. It's like, I can't do anything, so I'm not going to do anything.
No, I know, but I find it interesting that mindset behind it, because it is a little bit
Cold. It's very cold.
Yeah, I find that interesting though, because you could also respond it kind of in the same way, but not cold. You know what I mean? Like, just to be like, okay, she's dealing with this. I'll just give her time because I know that sometimes she just needs some time. Let me just go and do my work, and then I'll wait until she comes to me. Mm-hmm. You see? That's a bit different from having that cold approach. Mm. So that's interesting.
Look, it'd be different. Say, for instance, hypothetically, like, say you went through a moment and you were like, you communicate to me, you say, babe, I'm just going through something. I just need some time. I'll be like, okay, she's told me she needs time. Like, it's real. Mm. I'm not making it up. Like, that's when I can talk to myself. But if I'm like, what's wrong, babe? I'm just like thinking, I just can't let it go. And like, you're not really telling me what I can do. Right. You're not communicating. You're in your own head and you're like invisible to me. Like, you're not there anymore. And it's like, I can't keep asking and begging and stuff. It's like, all right, I'm not getting anything from her. So. Mm.
And that's why I think that happened more in the first year.
Yeah.
Because that's where I was also learning that I'm not alone anymore, and that I can talk to you, and I have to include you in stuff when something's going on with me. So I think now that's way more open, that dialogue, whenever something's bothering me or whatever.
Yeah, like if I can't do anything, tell me I can't do anything. Otherwise, I'm going to feel that anyway, and then I'll just leave it because I can't do anything. This was an example of us working something out. We just talk things through.
Yeah.
Okay.
I prefer to do everything myself, but my girlfriend likes to help, so we compromise.
Sushi night. David Cynical says, I prefer to do everything as myself as far as domestic duties or self-entertain. But that's just how I've been socialized. So I find it hard to allow a girlfriend to do anything for me. As long as you're aware of it, some guys, they do everything for their girlfriend and then complain later on when they feel like they've been used by their ex. Like, I did everything for her. Then why did you do everything? If you want to be in control and do everything.
I do have an intense listening phase. I'm sorry, babe. But it's because I'm still thinking about the comment that I just read, and now I'm thinking it's a joke.
Which one?
That one, David P. Always responding to someone. I prefer to do everything myself, but my girlfriend likes to help, so we compromise.
Yeah.
So that's a joke, right?
No. I don't think so. I think he's replying to Cynical.
Yeah, but he's saying, I prefer to do everything myself, so I want to do everything, but my girlfriend likes to help, so I'll let her help.
Yeah.
So I compromise. So it's a joke, right?
No, he's being serious. So Cynical said this, right? And then David P says, I prefer to do everything myself, but my girlfriend likes to help, so we compromise. So
yeah, but he's not compromising if he's letting her take over chores when he already likes to do everything. Isn't that like a joke?
Okay, you're being literal. Yeah, literally the definition, sure.
Oh my God. Why, if you don't mean just say what you mean. This literal stuff, like, yeah, if you tell me something, I'm gonna believe what you're saying. Like, I find it so annoying. I don't know. Please let me know if that's a joke or if I just don't understand.
I think he's being serious. He prefers to do everything himself, but his girlfriend likes to help. So we compromise. So he gives the girlfriend permission to do his
permission
chores.
To help him out, but that's not compromise for him. That's good for him, right? Or
yeah, he's compromising for the relationship, not for him. He knows it's good to compromise for the relationship.
Okay, he means it. It's not a
No, it's not a joke.
Sorry, I just don't get it then.
You're being autistic, babe.
Oh wait, okay. So are you saying you are... I'm just trying to understand it, sorry. Okay, I think he's saying then that he really wants to do everything himself because he's very particular about how he does things.
Yes.
But his girlfriend wants to help, and so that's why he feels like he's compromising. Okay.
Yes.
Jeez, I just wasted like 5 minutes of everyone's life, sorry.
No, you wanted to understand. Compromise on soap brands, My favorite soap brand,
Soap brands.
toiletry brands is Palmolive. They do awesome.
If that's your biggest problem, though, to compromise on soap brands.
Yeah. Please, Palmolive, sponsor us. Give us free shit.
In Holland, we say palmolive.
Sounds French, the way you pronounce some stuff. Especially English products. You just say it in a French way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Can you think of an example?
Palmolive. It sounds French.
Yeah.
The way you say it. David P. Yes, I'm the same way. My girlfriend likes to feel included, so I'll ask her to do the stuff I don't enjoy.
Who are all these girls that like to do chores?
Apparently nicer than you. Jesus.
I'll do them, though. But who likes doing chores?
No compromise on driving.
Yeah, that's true.
No one drives my car anyway. I wouldn't let her drive. I like driving. I'm one of these people, like, I actually like driving.
And here they also drive on the wrong side of the road.
No, we don't.
So.
We do. We drive on the left. We don't drive on the right.
Yeah.
So it is the wrong side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get guys who love being chauffeured around by their girls. And it's not just the masculine, look, I don't know. I look at these without naming the cultures where the men's are chauffeured by their wives driving. It's like, yeah, you're not a real man. You're being driven around by your mother. You should be driving. But anyway, I've certainly been asked in past relationships about how they could be of service to the relationship to some regard, and it usually stumps me. This is a thing you did. This is why I knew that my adjustment with living with you, I had to give up a lot of things that I do for myself. Even if I like them done a certain way, it's more important, and I would love for my partner to do them because I want to be shown. I want you to do things for me, and you will feel proud of them. You'll feel proud. You don't want to do it. You clean, and you see I'm happy. And I hug you, and it's like, thanks, babe. Like,
yeah,
he
always hugs me when I'm cleaning.
No, I love seeing you when you wash the dishes, when you clean and stuff. It's just very endearing. Like the act of showing that you want to take care of us, like of the relationship. It's really nice. If you don't do anything, if you're one of these entitled women's like, just pamper me, give me stuff. It's like, you're just a one-way street of shoveling in gifts and presents. It's like, this is tiring. Like, when do you show acts of service towards each other? You know, you got to show, you can't just say you love each other. You got to show it.
Well, I never want gifts anyway. I just want you to feed me.
Well, that's a gift. McDonald's.
Yes.
That's what she wants for a birthday present. Coming up in a month.
It's on a Monday, my birthday. So he's gonna pick me up after work, and then we're gonna go to McDonald's and have McDonald's in the car.
Low maintenance.
And that's what I love. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already saw that a while ago.
You responded to it.
Yeah, because now I get what he means.
Yeah, definitely not the girl from Jersey Shores. Yeah, exactly.
I still find it weird that she would still want to help him, though.
Why?
Because if you were like, babe, I absolutely love cleaning and I have this specific way of cleaning and I don't mind doing it at all, like I would love to keep doing it, I'd be like, okay. Like,
yeah, but
why would I fight to...
Yeah, but don't you ever worry, right? You actually contribute. You show acts, like you do things to maintain our marriage, right?
No, I know, but I could do other things. Like maybe I could put a lot more effort into cooking, try out more recipes, you know, like we could talk about, okay, so what else do you feel like we contribute in a fair way? Like we could talk about it. But like I would never fight over doing like chores or whatever. That's weird to me. Yeah,
I think the more you show acts of service within a relationship, the better it is for you. Even though you think, oh, cool, I don't like doing it, I don't want to do anything. You become...
No, not anything, but something else maybe.
Yeah. I really think it's important that you need to split chores and do things as a part of a team to take care of the relationship. You really do. And I think that's what David's talking about. He can do it. Guys can do everything themselves. We're self-sufficient. It's great to hand over things that women are better suited to, right? You know, they're better suited to doing softer chores inside the house than outside lifting heavy things and sweating in the environment and mowing the lawn and all that sort of stuff. So I think acts of service and love.
Compromise on thumbnail for a video, pigtails or not. No,
Yeah.
he likes my hair, however I do it.
I like it pigtails and in a bun or something.
Yeah, I don't like to have it in a bun though. But
Yeah, like this is nice, but I prefer the clean look most of the time.
to have it back.
Yeah, I've always preferred the clean look of guys and girls. Shaved heads, well-combed hair, scruffy look, hair everywhere. When women do that when they go out to like a wedding and they poof their hair out, like the real big, it's like a big pot plant, and they think it's great, and I think like you look stupid. Arglife says, I think some ladies get enjoyment out of cleaning because disorder seriously mentally bothers them. My buddy's wife is like that. My sister's like that. She hyper clean. She's hyper domestic. She wants to cook. She doesn't let my brother-in-law do anything.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't bother me too much. Like as long as it's kind of normal, that's fine with me. I am way more focused on disorder in my head. Like I want my head to be orderly, you know? If I feel disordered in my head, then that really bothers me. But like stuff doesn't bother me.
But sometimes
that
you
much.
can't help that. The easiest way to order your head is to order the world around you, and that gets you out of your head.
That does help. That does help. That's true. Yeah.
Peg, how are you? She says, it was a team approach in my world. I loved helping my men, and the bonus was to get cross-trained in things I might not have taken on myself. So you learn new skills as well. As time would have it, the time was well spent all around. I tend to have control freak issues, so by having her help, that alleviates my control freak issues. You have a bit of that.
Yeah, but not with cleaning.
Other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in terms of unfair compromises, or, you know, also how have we've touched on this, how have we both changed? Because I knew that my life would change with you living with me, being married, but I was looking forward to adjusting because I knew it would be like an interesting, fun adjustment with you. Also, I knew how to do my old life really well, and it was boring, and I felt myself moving into like a new chapter in my life. So this was like, this will be fun. I wonder how I'm going to adjust. I wonder what our life's going to look like, because I knew we were good together. So I think we have changed a lot of the traits that we maybe struggled with when we were living on our own. Like you can talk about yours, I can talk about mine. I've organized myself a lot better. The stuff that really mattered, like my sleep, is a lot better now with you. I might stay up late here and there, but not like all night. I used to stay up all night on a work night, chatting online and making videos and just wasting time. And then the sun would come up. I wouldn't have any sleep and I would crash the next day. So my life is a lot more in a way that I'm proud of, my routines and all my habits and things. And it's just because I've got someone else to be responsible around, you know. So I think I've shaved off a lot of the rough edges of stuff where I was a bit out of control, and yeah.
I think the main thing that I've really worked on a lot is to be more considerate. I think that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm still working on being more relaxed. And
You're pretty relaxed and calm, but you just kind of get stuck in your head.
yeah, like not to let that happen and let it change my mood. Like that's what I'm working on too. And also in conversation is what I'm working on, because we have kind of different conversation styles. And I feel like I want to be more relaxed when we have conversations as well. Like not just random conversations, but when we talk about a topic and we're having a discussion about like a topic or whatever. Sometimes I can be too rigid in my head as well, and I want to make these points, and I want to be more relaxed with that too, because my brain is trying to control how I think we should talk or whatever.
Yeah, you get stuck on defining a certain, like before when we were talking about what David P meant, You were like really, you couldn't let it go. You needed to work it out.
Yeah, like, yeah.
But that's also a good thing between us, where we never leave things unsaid. So we never have that like, oh, well, let's not talk about it and let it go, and then it bothers both of us. She has to work it out, and I like that about you. We work out the situation. Okay, it is what it is now. We both know there's no game playing.
Yeah.
So that's actually a positive, but also a negative in your own head when you can't let it go.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, babe, it doesn't matter. Yeah, but.
Yeah, it's a weird thing how the brain works. But I think you really have to try to deal with it in the moment, you know, like recognize it, and then in the moment you have to try to shift it, or, you know, try to deal with it in a better way. And then over time you'll learn how to deal with it better. Because if you just recognize something like a bad trait and you talk about it and you reflect on it, that's not necessarily enough. I've really noticed that what is going to help better for me, is going to help more for me, is probably in the moment, if I'm recognizing, okay, I'm having a mood, my mood is shifting, or I'm feeling impatient or annoyed or whatever. In the moment, you have to be aware of it. And now, okay, so now I have to deal with it differently. I have to shift my mood or get some perspective, you know, like I think that helps better to try to deal with it in the moment and practice that, you know.
Yeah. The mind.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it. How long have we been going for?
These last two streams have been very like serious, like therapy session-ish, kind of.
You think?
Yeah.
I think they've been more realistic and just more casual. I think people appreciate when, again, we're not following. Usually, sometimes we have like bullet point, and we try and follow like a presentation we want to give while talking. But then your very rigid mind like focuses on the points and make sure we go through them and stuff.
Yeah. So for me, it's better not to have any points and to just go into it.
All right. I think we're done. I hope people got something out of this, especially just seeing us talk through stuff, like one or two moments where you actually see our character traits and how we talk through things. We don't argue. Look, if I got a feeling that you had a temper and you argued and we did have arguments, I wouldn't be able to live with you. But I had a good feeling no matter what happens, we're going to talk through things and we're going to work it out. That's really nice. Rather than emotionally, we're just going to blow up at each other.
Yeah, I feel like if you can always talk it out, then there's nothing really that you can't handle, you know.
All right. I think we're done.
Yeah?
Yeah. We're going to enjoy the rest of our Friday.
Yeah,
It's
the rain.
really muggy, and now the sun's coming out. I'm going to put on shorts.
I'm just checking for new questions.
No, I think that's it. I think that's it, babe. All right. You want to go?
Yeah, sure.
I think we're done. Well, I have a good weekend, everyone, and I'll see the rest of you on my stream on my human channel on Sunday in around this time in 2 days on my other channel. And we'll catch the rest of you in next week's stream or a video. All right. Bye.
Bye.